So inside of Grow a Garden in the friendship update, we got the, crafting system that was integrated inside of the Bizzy Bear. Now, alongside this, there was a basic requirement system that needed you to, submit honey. Come over here, submit a pollinated plant, at a basic kg. This was a bit hard and annoying. I would say it's a really tedious task, especially considering if you don't have that plant or you have a lot of crops in your garden. It is a pain nonetheless to try to get that plant, then along get it mutated. Now, obviously, you can use things, nectar staffs. These will call the bees towards them and get those ones pollinated if they're in the range of that. But this isn't really that efficient. And there are two ways you can do this faster. Starting off number one, the fastest way I'd recommend is just trading for it. So I have a really good trading server. As you see, people are doing all sorts of stuff like friendship pots. People are constantly trying to trade for pollinated carrots. So you could use this vice versa, where if you have all these pollinated plants, you could be like, here you go. So give me, this much and whatnot, or this pet. People will most likely do it, especially if you give them like the full track. Now I'll have my website linked in the description, and I'll probably even link this image on the front. So on it, it's called a stock calculator. You can go to game info page, event info, right? And you can see this image right here. So this thing, I don't care, Gardio, as you see, is the full Bizzy Bear Track. Now, what you could do is pre-fire everything on this list and then go into trading servers, and you could even be like trading full Bizzy Bear, list, and then do this thing right here. This will allow you to obviously trade it, get a stupid amount of just easy trades. Like I probably get a crazy plant. Now, once again though, my Discord server is really great for this. This should be in the video's description. Alongside that, there should also be a pretty decent trading server. I say should, there is. A lot of people are trading once again for all these pollinated stuff. So that's one method you can do for it. And the second thing is going to be the main method. This is what I use to really grind. So you can obviously, wait, what in the, bro, freaking duplicate this thing, idiot. Is pretty much you want to compact your garden and try to get as many, just non-necessary crap in your garden, right? So the next thing to note is when bees pollinate, if every plant in your garden is pollinated, right? The bees will, hit you with this notification, like nothing in your garden that can be pollinated, or bee could not find plant to pollinate, right? So what you can do is take advantage of this mechanic and try to either use an alt account and just feed it low-level things so it can equip a bunch of bees, or obviously that would involve, getting said things on it, right? What you can do, and this is what I did, which I think is smarter, is you can, compact your garden into just the main stuff, like I'm grinding money with this plant, right? I'm not deleting these. This one right here is too rare. It has too many mutations. And then, it's a sunflower, right? I'm not deleting any of these things. But if, say I want, my current one is a pollinated strawberry, I can plant a strawberry, and that's the only plant that can be pollinated. So then, therefore, that plant will get pollinated very fast. As you see, no plants for bees to pollinate. So this is what, you're looking for, right? So pretty much what we're gonna do is taking advantage of this is what we're gonna do, right? So say, for example, I only need a strawberry pollinated. So you can use things like the nectar staff if you're not wanting to clear out your whole garden. And I would recommend doing this if you don't want to delete everything. Move as much as you can over to the side. So, right, like I'd grab this, move this over there, just everything out of the way using the trowel, right? So you would use the trowel to move everything out of the way. And then what you could do is then put the nectar staff or whatever so that they're all in the middle range of said thing, right? And then these will be the only option for them to pollinate. Now, this is obviously one of the faster ways you can do this. I think the fastest way, because once again, it forces the bees to only have the option to pollinate that one thing. And in general is going to speed up, literally everything. Bro, please take that plant. No. Anyways, though, with that being said, if you do have the resources and it is lower plants, like for example, right, it's a strawberry. Strawberries are literally always in stock, right? So you can get that on an alt account, grow that up a bit, and that's going to be the only thing that can be mutated. So you could do something like that. But once again, I would recommend probably the stacking up, pushing everything to the side if necessary, pollinating everything, running as many bees as you can, getting as many pet equips as possible, and grinding the crap out of this. Now, the next thing you can do in order to make this easier is check out my website. I have on the stock notifier, so it'll look like this, right? You can come on down to the page and you can click game info, event info, and then have this image, open it in a new tab or save it. And you can see the entire Bizzy Bear like fruit list. So you can see, the starting off is a blueberry, then a tulip, and then rose, and then, so on, right? This is probably one of the better ways. You can then pre-fire this. And additionally, what I've seen some people do is pre-fire the entire list and then just give away or trade for high value plants, just this thing alone. So you could be like, I want, you know, not a dragonfly, but say something like this plant, right? And to do this, I would give you, you know, the entire Bizzy Bear Track of pollinated and honey glazed plants. So many people trade for this. I've seen some people do that and they got a dragonfly, but obviously, most likely you can only find a great deal like this in my Discord server, which will be in the description alongside the link to that website. Anyways, see ya. I'm farming the crap out of this plant right here with raccoons, as probably shown with my frustration throughout the video of, you know, the raccoons not collecting it. Anyways, though, this thing is worth around 200 billion and I'm working towards getting it worth more. With friend boost, you could sell it for nearly 300, you know, if it at full possibility. But anyways, I'm giving this away. To enter into the giveaway, just subscribe and comment your username. So it's pretty much like instantly, you know, 200 billion or more, and you could use this for great value in trading, and I'm giving away a lot of them as well. It's not just one. So check out that giveaway and join the Discord server, you know, why not?